That was great, Jeff. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
You know, another thought that I had, I would like to hear from Willow and Lilia about what they perceive to be the difference between a secular camp and a camp that's not secular. What would your impressions be?
Well, what's cool about Camp Quest is that you get to hang out and talk with people that, like, believe the same things as you. And it's really cool because there's people there that are like you, and you can really relate to sometimes how they're feeling or the way they're treated or their life.
Yeah, what do you say, Lila?
Well, it definitely is very nice to have people there that think the same way you do, because you can always talk to them. And in other places, there are people who might make fun of you because of what you believe. But here, everyone kind of just makes friends and gets along great.
So now these friends that you're making when you're there, I bet you either talk with them online or you stay in touch.
Yeah, we email each other, and because we make lots of friendships at camp. It's really great.
And are those friendships important to you as you are going through problems that you may have at school because you're secular in your thinking, and you can share this with others? This probably helps too, doesn't it?
Definitely, yeah.
So what do you think is the most common problem that you folks share in terms of being non-believers at camp? What troubles the kids the most?
Well, at school there are kids who will make fun of you from what you believe. Willow's had some experience with that, but yeah.
We're all about dispelling those misconceptions, though, just by living our lives and leading a positive example. That's what I'm trying to instill in my girls and in all the campers that come to Camp Quest. For those people who might judge non-believers and feel that we are somehow morally not up to par, we are the example, and a shining one at that, our family, and of the false nature of those claims. I'm a professional firefighter paramedic, have been for 22 years. My wife's a school teacher, and we live our lives in a very morally and ethically upright way, and religion has nothing to do with that.
Oh, of course not. Yes, of course not. Now, what do the children need to bring with them when they come to Camp Quest?
Well, let's see. We tell you guys to bring a sleeping bag and your toothbrush.
Flip-flops for the shower.
Flip-flops for the shower, because you don't want to be going in there with bare feet. And they have to wear closed-toed shoes. That's like a camp rule, because we don't want anybody tearing off any toenails. They have to wear, just bring comfortable summer clothes, and also be prepared for the cool nights that we sometimes have in Michigan.
And we need swimsuits for swimming.
Swimsuits for swimming, yeah.
And sleeping bags for sleeping.
Yep. And we kind of we bring some air mattresses along too, because they do have mattresses on the bunk beds in the cabins, but they're not the most comfortable mattresses. So we supplement ours with air mattresses.
Okay, now how about the food? Are there hot dogs, hamburgers, and food that you really can hardly wait for dinner?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
There's new things every night. Like we have corn dogs and hot dogs and macaroni.
And pudding.
Oh, pudding.
But there's always the healthy food too, like carrots and fruit, and they always.
We've been getting more and more inquiries about vegetarian fare. And so actually that's something I'm going to be looking to offer a little bit more this year. I'm going to talk with our host camp and see if we can't have some vegetarian options out there. They always are very good about having off to the side, no matter what our main course is, they'll have peanut butter and jelly and cereal and fresh fruit on a table off to the side. So if there was, for some reason, you didn't care for what was served.
Or allergies.
Or if you had some allergies or something like that, you could always go over to the fresh fruit and make a sandwich or have a bowl of cereal or something. They do pretty well with the food there, but that's obviously not the highlight of the week.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Now, what else? We've talked about the swimming and boating and horseback riding and hiking. Am I missing something here?
Well, there's ground initiatives, and those are just like kind of fun little games where we all learn to get along and
Learn each other's names and
like getting to know each
building.
other.
Yeah, team building exercises. The type of thing some of these corporations will send their employees through in order to build teamwork and stuff. The kids go through that stuff too, out on all these high and low ropes courses, and they learn to trust each other and assist each other to make it through these different obstacles. And it's
And then,
it's
of
fun.
course, in front of the cabins, there's always like volleyball nets and badminton and other little games we can play just when we have our extra time.
Now, your dad, or president of Camp Quest of Michigan, certainly brings his instruments and does some entertaining. Do some of the other kids bring instruments? And
John and Fran bring instruments, don't they?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes.
And then the kids, and we do sit down in circles, and any kid who wants to come over and try to strum a guitar or play some maracas or a tambourine, and we'll play some traditional camp-type songs, and,
Dad likes to play his songs around the campfire sometimes.
Yep.
now, Jeff, I guess that I maybe want to hear more about what kids can expect when they register, when they get to Camp Quest, if they've never been there before. What can they expect?
Well, when they first arrive, they're going to come up with their parents to the registration table, and that's where we're going to see a lot of familiar faces from past years of Camp Quest, and we might see some fresh faces too, hopefully. And we get to meet the parents and make sure that all of the paperwork is in order. If there are any special considerations as far as the child's menu is concerned, we'll make sure we're aware of those. Also, medications. Sometimes we have to have those checked in with our medical officer, and then we just basically give them a tour around camp. We have some of our older campers we designate as CITs, or counselors in training, and that would be our campers who are 16 and 17 years old. So we can have our CITs lead the new campers who are unfamiliar with the grounds on a tour, and tell them what cabin they're in, and then they got to start unloading their sleeping bags and all their gear and get it piled in the cabin. And shortly after registration is completed, we start with our team building and name learning games and stuff like that. Yeah. So that's basically how it goes in the first hour or two of camp.
Now, I wonder if a child arrives or children arrive and they have some ideas that they would like to do, games to play or things to do. Is that encouraged?
Of course it is. We're free thinkers.
Sure, there you go.
We're not rigid about things like that, If somebody comes in and they've got a game they'd like to share or whatever, yeah, of course. And the older campers even get a little bit of extra time. Usually 1 or 2 nights out of the week, we'll allow the older campers to stay up an extra hour in the dining hall, and they'll play card games or board games or what have you. And it just gives them kind of a little bit of a special privilege, as long as they behave themselves, which they, of course, usually do. They got me walking around.
So that makes me think now about this time schedule. So what time do the bagpipes begin playing in the morning?
7:30 is wake up, because our first meal's at 8 in the dining hall. So yeah, I go around, start making some noise, 7:30, and all the bleary-eyed campers come out of the cabins and start heading for the showers, and to get ready to brush your teeth and get going on the day, and they got to be in the dining hall by 8 o'clock. Yep.
Oh boy, that's some pretty fast stepping you girls have to do in the morning. And so what can you expect for breakfast?
Well, at breakfast, they always have cereal, and every day, usually it changes. They'll have French toast, some days waffles, pancakes, sausage, bacon, eggs. We've had like breakfast egg McMuffins and
We
things
had
like that.
breakfast tacos.
Breakfast tacos.
Yeah, that'd be great. Now, when is it time to put out the campfire at night? When do they typically need to be in there?
Yeah, I think I'm having trouble remembering if it's 9 o'clock. We have you guys start getting ready. I think it's 10 o'clock lights out in the cabins. 9 o'clock we tell the kids to start going to get ready, brush your teeth for bed. And then on those special nights for the older kids, we let them stay up till 11. Pretty sure that's how it goes. Yeah.
And I'm just guessing that when it comes time for lights out, you're ready for it. You're tired. You've had a full day and it's time to sleep.
Well, one time we were all in our cabin getting ready for sleep, and then we had to rush up to the bathrooms because there was a tornado. So we were in the bathrooms, and it was pretty scary, but we sang and we danced, and we had a lot of fun, and before we knew it, we could come back out.
Now, Willow, if you had advice to give to someone who wants to come out to the camp, who's seen you on TV today, what would the one piece of advice you'd give them?
I'd say be yourself, because that's what everyone at camp does, and that's how we get along that way. Is we all just we just be ourselves, and then there's like no secrets, so you can all get along really well.
Excellent. And Lilia, what would be your advice that you'd want to share?
I just tell them to get ready for a great week of fun and games and adventures, and this is going to be something that they're going to remember.
Yes. And what would your piece of advice be, Jeff?
Well, my main advice would be that they bring the proper clothing, because of course I'm concerned with their safety and their enjoyment while they're there for the week.
Right.
And then we take care of all the rest, along with the Camp Kidwell staff. We take care of making sure that they have a good time, that maybe they learn a little something, and mostly that they have a lot of fun.
Yes. Well, Jeff, I want to thank you so much for being on our show today.
It was great being
It's
here.
been wonderful having you here, Willa. I hope you had a good time with us. We enjoyed you. And Lilia, it's been wonderful having you, and I hope you've had a good time. And, gee, maybe even I'll get to see you at Camp Quest in July.
Yeah, come on out.